Hi, I'm Sejal Shah Gulati from SonderConnect.
Latika Pai, and we have with us Vaishali Neotia from Hyderabad, the founder of Merxius.
Yes.
Vaishali, tell us, what does Merxius do?
So Merxius is India's most awarded augmented and virtual reality company. Interestingly, it's probably one of the few tech companies that has been featured in Vogue magazine. So in their anniversary issue, they put us in the top 10 cool tech companies working towards India 2.0.
Excellent.
Very cool.
And in VR, what specifically do you do?
So we have a product called Red, which is essentially a plug-and-play, first of its kind enabler software for virtual reality. So essentially what you do is any 3D file that you have, which could be in CAD format, SketchUp format, 3ds Max, the whole gamut, you input it into our software and you get VR. So it's like 3 steps to getting VR. Input 3D file, press publish, and magic happens. So voila, you have VR. That's what.
Who is your one big client right now?
The Indian Army.
The Indian Army.
Wow.
The most difficult and the largest client in India.
Yeah, and we're probably like their poorest, smallest vendor ever.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
What did you do before your startup?
I actually started up right out of college.
Okay.
So the minute I finished engineering, I started up. In fact, one of the reasons for me finally taking the plunge was during a technical interview at one of the IT companies. The interviewer told me, "Don't take this job, you'll waste yourself." So that was kind of, yeah, so that was just me sitting there thinking, wow, so I don't see this potential in me, my friends and family and peers don't, and this guy who I've just met, he's telling me don't take a job in his company because he thinks I would waste myself. And that was just when I'm like, you know what?
Amazing?
Yeah.
You know, when you have this great big exit, send the guy a nice check.
Yeah.
Right? Saying
Yes.
thank you, keep in track with it, because you know, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here
So true.
today.
I'll have to send it to the company because honestly, till date, he's like this nameless, faceless guy. I don't even remember what his name was, but he's the reason why.
Just send it to us instead. So,
Absolutely.
what has been the biggest challenge so far with what you're trying to do?
I think thinking, because there's a point where as an entrepreneur, as a young startup, or even as a woman in technology, there's a point where I feel like I can't even think beyond, because I might know A to Z, but I don't know what else comes after that. And that's been a challenge because it's like you don't know what you don't know. So finding the right people to be able to guide us. So for example, with Red, it's our first endeavor at a software product, and to understand how to really make it big. And that kind of vision that needs to go into making a brilliant strategy out of it. I don't even think I can think that far. So yeah, the thinking has been a challenge, getting the right people to mentor us. You know, that's why SonderConnect happened. That's important. So I think now we're solving that challenge.
Very nice.
Where do you know, India is typically considered much behind Silicon Valley in terms where it comes to technology. There's billions that, you know, big companies are investing in VR. How do you see yourself survive, right?
Wow, okay, so honestly, when we started working with augmented and virtual reality, I remember we were called to conferences to talk about what we were doing, and you know, I get called to speak to a bunch of people. I would ask the audience, how many of you have heard of augmented or virtual reality? And there would maybe be 3 hands go up. Now, at least after Oculus Rift, most people in the audience, you know, the hands go up. A lot of people still don't know what these technologies really do. But at least it's entered the mass consciousness, and now investors are more excited about this space, also coming from India. And last year, when we were representing India at one of these expos in Silicon Valley, we realized that there was a lot of interesting work happening around us, but nobody had actually done what we'd done. So we were like, we're from India, yeah, but with globalization, it's not that you're restricted anymore. So the thought process where Indians would think, if there's, you know, technology coming out of the world, it's going to be good if it's from the US or from Japan or from you know, Korea. But if you talk about India, nobody really thinks good technology can come out of here.
So today what you're saying is that Merxius is as successful in terms of coming out with technology as any other part of the world.
Absolutely. We're India's most awarded company for the same reason. And IIT UK has put us in the top 5 in the world, innovating in IT. So definitely, we're there on the map as far as innovation goes.
If we're sitting with you a year from now and interviewing you, and I said, oh my God, you've had such an amazing year, what will that amazing year look like?
I think we would like to be able to start being considered among the biggies. So when people are talking about great design work out there and great design software like Photoshop or like AutoCAD, we'd like people to remember that there's a product called Red, which said anybody can VR, and Merxius is the one powering it.
Nice.
So I think, yeah, this year should be great that way.
Well, we wish that happens for you.
Absolutely.
So let's get to know you a little bit better. We're going to
Sure.
do our rapid fire round.
Okay.
To the best of your ability, if you could answer in one word, that would be great. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Perfect happiness, let's see. Nature?
What is your greatest fear?
Not reinventing.
Which living person do you most admire?
That's a tough one. Michelle Obama, actually. Yeah, I love her.
I do too. What is your greatest extravagance?
Let's see. So when I was mentored at Goldman Sachs, everybody over there would wear high heels like this big, and I was walking around in flats and my formal. So I was like, I should go shopping just to invest in some shoes so I feel at home in this place. So for the 2 weeks I was there, I invested in a lot of formal clothes and shoes. Yeah, that was extravagant for me.
Very nice.
What do you do for fun?
Lots of things. Actually, fun is all the time. It's like I'm having fun right now. So yeah, anything, everything.
3 things on your bucket list.
3 things on my bucket list. Traveling for sure. I want to be able to go to Mansarovar. I want to be able to go to Leh Ladakh. So traveling for sure. 2 is making sure that in my lifetime I've converted at least every single man I know into a feminist. That's definitely on my bucket list. And 3rd would be I think to be able to reach a point where when someone says, "Oh, you're a woman in technology," it's not a surprise or an exclamation. It's like a statement. So I'd like to see that happen and
Nice.
make that happen.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then last question, how would you describe your life so far in 1 sentence?
Crazy.
Nice.
Nice.
Very
Okay,
nice. Thank
good.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great.